Hello and welcome back to a new episode of Grand Tactician, the Civil War, where we are playing the Union career mode. Last episode we got in command of the New Jersey State Militia Brigade, and we repelled the enemy around Akia Harbor. Currently we are besieging this fort in front of Fredericksburg, and the Confederate Army has deployed to repel us, but they should lack the manpower to do so. Further to the north, more Confederate forces are present, and they're currently threatening Alexandria and Washington DC. Now let us continue and find out if we can capture this fort and if we may be able to drive the enemy back all the way to Fredericksburg. The enemy has only 39 men remaining in the fortifications. And there we have the great news. There was a glorious victory at Fort Akia Landing, Buggles surrender, and the support for the rebel cause wavers. This means that we were successful in capturing this fort. Very good. Currently our soldiers are suffering from low ammunition, they are quite unhappy and the weather is bad. But let's hope that we get some further support quickly. And the public resolution 82nd was signed, which brings us a new medal. This medal is going to be the Medal of Honor. It is going to be issued for personal valor, and it is a medal for the Army and the Navy. A provision for 200 medals was made. We can see that the Army of Northern Virginia is marching further to the northwest. Maybe they are trying to outflank us, and we could capitalize on that and push further to the south. It looks like the Confederates started to push on Alexandria but have retreated. The Army of the Peninsula is marching further northwest, and Polk's division is falling back from Winchester area. And over here another Confederate army, the Army of the Northwest, is coming up. We are now stuck between multiple Confederate forces, but if only they engage us, we should be able to drive them back. More forces are coming up, and our general should make a move or we will be outnumbered and might be destroyed. Yes, now the Confederate armies are attacking us. The enemy is getting led by PGT Beauregard, a man who is responsible for multiple Confederate victories in this war, and they are attacking us with 29,600 soldiers, 2,700 cavalrymen and 62 guns. On our side we have 26,700 soldiers, 2,600 cavalrymen and 67 artillery pieces. Today is the 28th December 1861. Our scouts report that the enemy is near Stafford, Virginia, and our army is preparing for battle. We are facing the Army of the Potomac under command of PGT Beauregard with strength of some 13,000 men and 30 artillery pieces. The enemy army is battle experienced and the morale is reported to be eager. Reports indicate the supply situation is outstanding. The supply state of our own army is outstanding as well. The objective for this fight is going to be this position along the Telegraph Road, and we can see that the Confederates already have a massive force present on the battlefield. With many more reinforcements coming up from the Courthouse Road and around this road. Some of our forces have already deployed on the battlefield. They are close to Baggs Island, near the canal, and more forces are holding up over on these sections, as well as in these woods and over here. Our own brigade is situated in the center of our line. And we have now been ordered into a reserve position. Well, let's get our soldiers in order and move out. At this moment the Confederate forces have captured the position around the Telegraph Road, and we are still ordered forward. Our forces are marching up in a massive line. The first parts of our army are arriving. It is a lone cavalry unit that is scouting ahead. 850 men of Vermont are about to face the Confederate army alone. In the meantime, the Confederate positions got significantly reinforced. while our own army is still setting up, and we are getting conflicting orders whether we should set up over here or over here. To make sure that our soldiers can regain their strength, I have sent them over here to make sure that we can gather our forces. More Union forces are marching up over here. I guess they're going to come up over the mine road. That might be a good position to hit the enemy's flank, and more forces are advancing over this position close to Dr. Reynolds. And over here, many more of our forces are moving along. Artillery fire has started to begin, and the 1st Vermont has suffered 7 casualties. The 2nd New Jersey battery is coming up and is now setting up. This battery has 40-pounder James rifles, and this should give them a good range on the enemy. And we can see that this farmhouse got set up into flames. And we have been ordered on the flank. These orders came in the last minute, otherwise we wouldn't be able to do so. This is also a good opportunity to get into combat quicker, as we are closer to this side of the battlefield than we are to Goodwin's and Cork's farms. Enemy artillery fire is starting to rack up. The US cavalry is now taking fire. And more of our regiments are setting up. Counter battery fire from the 2nd US artillery is setting up. And over here the cavalry is charging enemy skirmishing detachments, but they're going to be quickly repelled. In my opinion, a useless waste of lives. Our flanking force is coming around, but it is going to take a lot of time until they're there. Over on this section, the Confederate army seemingly has found out what we're doing and they're deploying to engage. And more cavalry is pushing up to harass the enemy detachments. Over here it looks like a detachment of Stockton is clashing with those skirmishers. Enemy artillery under the Alexander's Light battery is fighting and they have now been repelled. 1st US cavalry is still holding out, and over here another building collapsed. And our forces are about to reach their position. Once we are there, they are going to... Well, we're not going to do anything as the day has just ended. So, let me fill you in on the situation. To our north, more Union forces have expanded and they have not really changed the position that they are fighting in. The Confederate forces have decided to move further into the woods, trying to outflank us and to also get a little bit more cover. Over on this side, a Confederate attack in the morning was seemingly spotted and there is now heavy melee fighting in the woods. And if we look further to the south, our brigade has dug in over the night and tried to prepare. And as the morning begins, we can see that we have spotted some Confederate forces that have tried to sneak up on our own units and that have seemingly not spotted us. We now have a perfect position on the enemy flank and it is time to do a lot of damage to them. I want the 2nd New Jersey to march up down here to deliver some further fighting support. And we are ordered to support friendly units, but right now we are the ones who are going to need support. Come on man, get forward on the breastworks. And we are now ordered to engage at will, something that we were doing already. We have the position on their flank, we have the cover advantage. And we can see that the enemy is setting up artillery. Come on, gentlemen. It is absolutely crucial that you destroy their guns. Well, these men are wavering, but we have some men in reserve. And I've ordered them previously to move forward, something that I haven't done already. Enemy forces are taking some casualties, but so are all men. The 3rd New Jersey State Militia was already under strength as this day began, but now their casualties are going to rise even quicker. These men are on the threat of being outflanked, and they need to focus on shooting the enemy over a larger distance. Over here our fighter on the artillery is taking a toll on the enemy, but I also want them to shoot on long range. 3rd New Jersey, your commander needs to rally the men. And over here we are shooting on the enemy flank. 3rd New Jersey unfortunately got repelled, but we are still fighting on. Over here we have the 3rd New Jersey Infantry, 366 men. Not enough men to really commandeer. And we are driving them back slowly. Very good, very good. We are doing a number on the enemy. These units are falling back from Mississippi. And over here the 5th South Carolina is taking damage. Our men are very well protected and we are shooting down on the enemy flank. The 17th Mississippi should be falling back soon. 2nd New Jersey State Militia is also doing an amazing job, and looks like the 4th got out of cover. They are a little bit frustrated because there are routed units nearby, but they should regain their composure quickly. These men are unfortunately still broken, they are still running, but we're doing all we can to make sure that they get back into the fight. And yes, this unit is now outflanked, they're wheeling around and they're soon going to run away. And these men need to focus on the flank of this unit. With that we should have at least one enemy brigade repelled. Further on the battlefield, this section is still within our lines, cutting our lines in two. And over here our forces have not really moved forward. The forest is going to be a tough nut to crack, and right now it looks like we're going to suffer a minor defeat. What can we do to support our soldiers? We can send our men forward. Let's hope that these contingents are not going to be too strong, but it looks like the enemy is now receiving reinforcements. In this situation I would like to pull our men back, get them on the defensive line, and if possible secure some reinforcements. We have the 41st New York Infantry. They have the Springfield Rifle Musket. They have over 500 soldiers, and it only takes a little bit of prestige to take them over. This is very good. They're going to refill our ranks. The 3rd is still in a panicked state and they cannot move up. And over here the next attack wave of the enemy is coming along. We're going to stop them in front of our breastworks. All of our soldiers are set to fire on long range. Very good. And the same, of course, has to go for the 41st. Now we can start to inflict some casualties. Over here, the 1st Ohio Cavalry is marching up on the enemy flank. And these soldiers should melt quickly. They're bringing up more artillery. And they're bringing up the 5th North Carolina as further reinforcements. We cannot push their flank right now, but we are on it, meaning that they have to constantly siphon troops to repel us. If we can keep this up, we have the option to deplete further forces of the enemy. First New Jersey is able to open up on this flank, very good fire, and the 31st is coming up. Now we just need to hold out. Over here I think our soldiers need to get forward just a little bit to actually get in range. Let's hope they're not going to take too many casualties, otherwise I will have to withdraw them. Over here, 41st, you need to move forward. Otherwise you are not going to be as well protected as you could be. Currently the artillery is out of range for our forces. 70 losses on the 4th New Jersey Militia. 76. Okay, man. We are going to fall back. Make a fighting retreat. And make sure that you're not going to get slaughtered. 2nd New Jersey is doing an amazing job and the 31st is not willing to actually get in cover. Are they able to shoot on the 3rd Washington artillery? They should be. And these men are still shooting on the 1st North Carolina. If we're able to repel this brigade, the enemy should suffer significantly, but they're getting more and more reinforcements. Over here a unit of us is starting to waver. Commander, you need to rally your men. And we need more soldiers to throw into the front line. I'm going to take over command of this unit and send them forward. They also have the Springfield rifle musket. And they also need to fire on long range. Come on, men, get forward. These men are now unstable, very good, meaning that we should be able to command them again. Let's get the men forward. I'm going to try to get them out of the main part of the fighting, but they will soon rejoin. 3rd Washington artillery has not taken casualties so far. I guess we cannot hit them. But now the 31st is coming up and we are shooting up on them. The artillery is now seen as flanked. Very good. The 2nd New Jersey has taken 58 casualties. They are still holding out. And the 4th New Jersey has taken 166. And it looks like the enemy outranges them. They've taken 170 casualties. I'm going to order them to fall back. And the 2nd New Jersey is coming up. They have the Springfield rifle musket. Come on, man, charge up to the position. And also fire on long range. If we're able to get those soldiers out, we could wheel around and maybe hit the enemy flank. And we need those soldiers to come in so that we can actually hit the enemy. The 2nd is doing an amazing job, but they're also taking more and more casualties, together with the 41st and with the 1st New Jersey State Militia. The enemy is now sending much more of their attention down to us. And I want the 4th to take position over in the woods. Maybe we can use this to outflank our enemies. Over here we have some of the enemy forces pulling back. We have the 11th Virginia shooting on us. They're getting outflanked, and I now want to focus all of our soldiers that are in range on the Washington artillery. They are a massive threat to our safety, and we need those guns destroyed. Over here the enemy has nearly cut our forces into two. We have some forces buckled up over here, and they're now moving on our flank. The majority of the Confederate army doesn't seem to be engaged, and we are hitting more and more of their forces on our flank now. The 31st is still wavering. Can we send skirmishers out? Yes, we can send at least some skirmishers out to further harass the enemy. And over here, these forces are going to do the same. Well, they cannot, as they have not enough men to do so. These men are still pouring it on to the enemy. Very good. Washington's artillery took 6 casualties. They only have 19 men remaining, meaning that they should also soon fall back. Over here, the 11th Virginia is getting flanked by our skirmishers. And this gives these soldiers a little bit of time to regain their composure. Now I want these soldiers to march up as well. They're going to advance on the enemy and open fire as soon as possible. Over here, these men are already wavering again. Come on, Colonel William, you have to rally your forces. These skirmishers took 2 casualties, and they're now under fire of the 17th Virginia. They're shooting back them. These men are coming up, and I want these skirmishers to open fire on. No, better, I want these skirmishers to pull back a little. If possible, we want to lure the enemy in. In a face-to-face combat, this detachment doesn't stand a chance. Some of our forces are now struggling with ammunition scarcity, but we have driven back more of the enemy forces. Over here, the 4th South Carolina is fighting. They're getting flanked from multiple directions. And the enemy is dividing their attention further to our forces in the woodland. Very good. It still looks like we are going to suffer a minor defeat. And the enemy flanking force is now pushing on our side. We're hitting some of the enemy forces over here. Over here, massive amounts of the enemy artillery have deployed. Maybe we can at least destroy those pieces. And these skirmishers are still hitting the enemy flank. Very good. Let's get our soldiers forward. And let's start hitting the enemy. The 2nd New Jersey State Militia unfortunately needs to get out. We have over here the Louisiana Tigers with 280 men. They are apparently able to hit our forces. I do not know what weapon they have, but they have to be good. Let's get our men forward out of the breastworks to hopefully roll up their flank. 4th New Jersey State Militia is going to hit the 1st Virginia. The same goes with the 2nd New Jersey State Militia. Enemy forces are now coming up. A very good fire, very good fire. And it looks like they are trying to charge us. 11th Virginia with 300 soldiers are now falling back. Very good, very good. I'm now also going to send the 3rd forward. 17th Virginia is on the field. And I want these men to hit the Louisiana Tigers. 1st Virginia is down to 368 soldiers. The force is down to 500, but their morale is terrible low. With fire from 3 regiments, this unit should be fallen back quickly. Over here, more forces are pushing up, the 17th Virginia. Come on, men, open fire. And I also want the 3rd to push up to the Tigers. Yes, we have routed another unit. Very good. Let's push the 4th forward to hit those artillery pieces. The 2nd is also going to come up and help the attack on the Tigers. 2nd New Jersey also push up on the enemy artillery. 31st New York is also going to hit the Tigers, and over here the 3rd needs to shift and press the attack forward. We have more enemy forces now coming up. We need to be quick, otherwise we have to withdraw. Eliza's detachment is coming forward, and the 1st MD cannot figure out what state that is right now. The enemy is sending more detachments over, maybe to capture artillery pieces. I am ordering the 3rd New Jersey to fall back. The 1st is going to overtake them to keep the fight going. 41st, you need to push up on and hit the 1st Texas. Over here the 4th New Jersey is hitting those skirmishers. 2nd New Jersey also move forward on those skirmishers. Nope, don't move, hit them if possible. And it looks like the enemy attack on this side has been abandoned, maybe for a better target. The enemy forces in the north are getting under pressure from our flanking attack, but it looks like the rest of our forces have run out of steam and are unable to actually do much. Still, this is going to be an amazing opportunity for our forces to train up some experience. 41st, I want you to shoot on Texas. And now the enemy is sending more regiments over. 3rd New Jersey, you need to retreat. The same goes with the 1st New Jersey. You're going to retreat, get on these positions and make sure that this road is going to be blocked. 31st is still battling Texas. The same goes with the 2nd New Jersey. And the 2nd New Jersey infantry lacks the strength to capture some of those artillery pieces. Let's get our men forward. I want this detachment out, maybe we can capture those guns and use them against the enemy. And over here the enemy is starting to push into our flank. I want the 1st over here. Maybe they can deliver some fire support. While we are going to push down and hunt the enemy as strongly as possible in the meantime. If things do not work out as planned, we still have the option to withdraw. 2nd New Jersey, you're going to push up over here. 4th New Jersey is fighting, and we have taken the enemy artillery. They have 10-pounder Parrott rifles. Very good, and I want them to focus on the Lynchburg artillery. In the meantime, these soldiers need to move up. And the 4th New Jersey is pressing the enemy hard. Enemy forces are now coming up for a counterattack. And we are taking a lot of fire. I want them to fall back to open up the field of fire for the remaining forces of our soldiers. 18th Virginia is the target. And we are going to hit them hard. Over here the enemy has pushed back further to the north. And I'm willing to send the 1st forward. They might be able to hit the enemy flank and to help consolidate this position. 3rd New Jersey is going to hang back to make sure that our rear is protected. Our commander needs to move forward. And our men are starting to get tired. 18th Virginia is still on the field. They are a threat. They have over 460 soldiers. And this unit from New Jersey is about to break in its entirety. 2nd New Jersey is still able to fire on the enemy, but they've also taken over 130 casualties. And the Lynchburg artillery is still on the field. If possible, I want the 31st New York infantry to move up and to hit and destroy those guns. And these men need to move forward and engage the enemy. For some reason we are almost unable to maneuver around this unit. And they alone are holding back our advance. Over here I want our forces to move up. And we need to figure out who is the better target, and right now it looks like the 4th Alabama is the perfect one. We need to make sure that our soldiers are not getting outflanked, otherwise they need to pull back. But if anyhow possible, we could hit the flank of Alabama. We have an enemy regiment completely exposed. 4th New Jersey fall back. We cannot really blame them. And the 1st New York infantry is about out of ammunition, and they are still unable to hit the Lynchburg artillery, even though I ordered them forward. 18th Virginia has now lying down, trying to get some protection from our overwhelming fire. And over here we are driving the 4th Alabama back. Very good. They are now setting up to pursue. We are now outflanked ourselves, meaning that our forces need to fall back. Right now we still have a minor defeat. We are slowly driving back the 18th Virginia. Our artillery is starting to get low. Lynchburg artillery still has only taken 1 casualty. And it is time that we push on. Over on this section our forces are withdrawing. We have the enemy flanked. Very good. We are still shooting on. But we're also about out of ammunition. The 3rd New Jersey still has some rounds left. I'm going to order them forward. This means that we are unable to support anything that comes over this bridge, but we need to move forward if we want to make any gains whatsoever. 2nd New Jersey is taking massive casualties. They need to fall back. And for some reason we haven't reached the New Jersey, the Lynchburg battery already. Maybe the 3rd is able to commit to that. Over here the 18th Virginia is falling back once more. Their fight was very heroic. But let's hope, yes, there they are routed. Very good. Everyone move forward. If anyhow possible, I want the Lynchburg battery destroyed. We are the best option that our army has for victory, at least on some sections of the front line. Further to the north, it looks like there's more of an artillery duel going on than any actual fighting, and the enemy is still on our flank. We are unfortunately out of ammunition. And it doesn't look like we can count on any form of resupply soon. The enemy guns are now taking some casualties. The 3rd is rushing forward. And they just took a hit. They only have 2 artillery pieces. Come on, men. Open fire, open fire. Very good. We have some casualties inflicted. Jenkins' detachment is on the field. we definitely need to deal with those. Headquarters move forward. And these artillery pieces. I hope they can move forward as well, because they have some ammunition left for mid-range rounds, but nothing for short or long range. Lynchburg Battery has now taken 4 casualties. 3rd New Jersey is taking more and more, and the enemy is coming up to hit us. Come on, only a couple good hits. As soon as these guns are destroyed, we can pull back on our defensive line, because we have exhausted our offensive capabilities already. Now, these men need to shift so that they can harass the enemy further, and the enemy is setting up more regiments as we speak. 18th Mississippi is the target of the 2nd New Jersey. And unfortunately, we do not have any more forces available to us. Enemy skirmishers are marching up. I guess they're trying to block the field of fire for the Lynchburg Battery. They have taken 9 casualties. They're down to 13 soldiers. And we're driving back those skirmishers. Our artillery has set up, but their field of fire is blocked. They've taken some casualties. If possible, the artillery needs to relocate over here. Let's hope they can do this before anyone breaks. 3rd New Jersey is nervous, but so is the Lynchburg artillery. Hang in there, man. Hang in there. Soldiers, you need to run. Only a couple hits and the enemy is going to be forced to retreat. We have the option to target some detachments, but I want our infantry to hit the 18th Mississippi. 2nd New Jersey can hit those guys from Jenkins. 41st, I hope you are targeting the Lynchburg artillery. They're down to 11 soldiers. They've lost half their force. The 3rd New Jersey is about to be broken. And we have received a severe blow to our chest during combat, breaking bones, causing severe pain. The injury will need to heal first before any permanent damage can be assessed. While recovering, your ability to command is impaired, as many duties have to be taken over by other officers in your unit. Terrible news. The 3rd needs to fall back under fire. And our headquarters apparently are withdrawing. No, get back there. And this is now the point where we are going to see this battle as a loss. Artillery, get back behind our lines. 41st Infantry. We're also going to do a fighting retreat. The same goes for the 2nd New Jersey. Come on, man, fall back. And the 1st New Jersey also needs to pull back. We have the option to shoot on the enemy over here, but it isn't worth anything, because the enemy is soon going to overwhelm us. Come on, man. You need to run into safety. The 41st New York just broke. These are terrible news. Meaning that the 1st has to take up position over here. Come on, man. Double time it. Charge up to this position. There are still some units in our rear that might be usable for us. And I'm a bit disappointed that this salient in our line has not been crushed. Our commander needs to fall back. We're down to 25% of our ammunition. And We have lost over 580 of our soldiers. Second New Jersey is taking their sweet time to get out of there. Come on, man, double time it. Unless, of course, you absolutely want to get killed. 3rd New Jersey might come under command soon. The same goes with the 41st. But while we wait for our soldiers to get back, let's take a look on casualties. So far our side suffers 699 killed and 2100 wounded, the same with 700 missing. In total we suffered 3600 casualties, meaning that about 12% of our force have been lost. The Confederate side suffers 475 killed and 1900 wounded, as well as 420 men missing. In total they suffered 2800 casualties. This estimates to be about 8% of their total force. And in my opinion, it would be a wise decision to flee the field and to save the men that we still have left. 2nd New Jersey just broke. They were unable to get back to our lines. And these men are still unable to take back command. The 1st New Jersey State Militia is everything that we have holding back our line, together with some cavalrymen from Ohio who are still holding back. Over here our line is starting to crumble. And further to the north, more Union forces have dug in but not engaged the enemy. The captured artillery is doing a fine job hitting the enemy. But we're going to run out of ammunition for them soon, and we are going to be overrun in this position unless some of our soldiers regain their strength. Over here the 3rd New Jersey Militia has regained their strength. And I am going to send them over here. And if possible soon the 2nd New Jersey will also regain their strength and we can send them down. Our artillery detachment unfortunately got repelled. And the 2nd New Jersey Militia exits the battlefield and is no longer available. These are some terrible news. We did everything we could in this fight. And I'm happy to see the 3rd New Hampshire Battery taking up position on the enemy flank and fighting on. "41st New York might be able to rejoin the battle at some point, but currently there's nothing that we can do. We are out of ammunition. The enemy has the total superiority over manpower and material. And unless a retreat order is given soon, we are facing a major defeat. Yes, the 41st has regained their strength. I'm going to send them forward. They're going to be positioned on our flank to greet the enemy if they decide to advance. 2nd New Jersey Infantry with the rifled musket is now also back in action. I'm going to send them forward. And with this, our defensive line is once again holding together, but I doubt that the Confederates are going to attack us. Currently, the 1st Lynchburg Artillery is still setting up. They have lost 1 artillery piece and half of their forces. And if the 1st New Jersey Militia is able to take over those artillery pieces that we have lumped back behind our line, we might be able to take out this artillery battery for good. And we were able to drive back the Lynchburg Battery. These are some very good news. Now please focus on the Loudon Battery. And once again, the day has ended. Now the battle once again continues. We held our position, and we can see that the Confederate attention shifted further to the north. We are ordered to take the objective, and this is simply not possible. Over here, more of the Union forces are bleeding dry as they fell to rifle fire and as they are getting shelled by artillery. We're ordered to deploy to engage within our current combat zone. The enemy tries to overtake some old artillery pieces, and we have Staunton's artillery over there. Let's order Skolum's detachment to attack those guns if somehow possible. And now we are ordered to engage at will, and this is something that we are going to do. Over here, the 2nd New Jersey is moving away from the front line. Let's get back on the field, boys. And our soldiers need to fire on whatever we can target. I'm not going to engage our forces. This battle is basically lost already. We have taken massive casualties and we are unable to break this flank. Our best opportunity would be if the enemy decides to charge our fortifications. But I think they're too smart for this. Our forces in the north are spread out. We still have forces on our flank. And we are unable to break through enemy lines. Preston's detachment only has 30 soldiers. And if possible, I want the skirmishers of the 1st New York Infantry to move out and to attack those guns. Maybe we are able to silence them, maybe not, but at least we have tried. It is a real shame that we are unable to take Staunton's artillery, but their guns are going to be too strong. Further to the north, our lines are starting to collapse, and we should really flee the battlefield before this is going to turn into a major catastrophe. Our skirmishers are there. They should be out of rifle range of our enemies, but they're going to take artillery fire pretty soon. Maybe we're able to drive back Preston's detachment though. And I wonder why the 2nd New Jersey is unwilling to stay in the trenches, especially now as enemy forces are pulling up to this location. Preston's detachment so far hasn't taken casualties. Von Gilser's detachment is nervous. And Skolum's artillery is unable to deliver a huge blow to the enemy. Preston's detachment now got 1 casualty. And more of the enemy reserves are pushing forward to attack the northern section of our line. Soon they will have a breakthrough and we have nothing left to stop them. And we can see that the 3rd Tennessee is moving forward. Meaning that we are going to recall those skirmishers. And it looks like the enemy mined out decide to attack our lines. Over here the 2nd New Jersey has left the trenches once more, but they seem to still have great cover, so I'm going to let them stay. Our artillery is set to fire at will, but I want them to focus on, well, I guess fire at will means that they're going to target infantry primarily, as we do not have the option to order them to only shoot at infantry. Over here we have some cavalry moving up. The 13th Virginia only has 64 men, meaning that this regiment is about to be wiped out. Over here the 3rd South Carolina has captured some guns, and the 8th South Carolina is going to make contact with our lines first. And more of their forces are now pushing up to our northern section. We're going to fight the enemy as long as possible, but I doubt that we have the option to hold them back. Our men are now opening up, and we're getting support by the 3rd New Hampshire battery with 14-pounder James rifles. Slogan's detachment has the 3-inch ordnance rifle, and more of the enemy artillery is pushing up. Very good, very good. They are almost in rifle range. I don't know what the Alexandria Light Brigade brings to the field, but we sure going to target them. Over here the 2nd New Jersey is once again trying to get out of the field. Come on man, move up. And the 1st New Jersey State Militia has the option to fire directly on the New Jersey, on the Alexandria Light Battery. Come on man, open fire, open fire. You have them right in front of you. Over here the 3rd New Jersey is fighting. No, the 3rd New Jersey Infantry is trying to push up to the north, exposing their flank. I'm going to take command of that unit and save them from themselves. Come on. Retreat into the cover of the woods. Over here we have the 1st New Jersey holding back the enemy, shooting on their exposed flank. And our artillery detachment is going to break pretty soon. We're going to give it everything we can take. And these men are now finally setting up to open fire on the 14th North Carolina. This is going to be the fight that is going to break us. 3rd New Jersey also needs to fire on long range. '41st is targeting the 8th South Carolina, very good. But if possible I want you to target the Texas battery. Our artillery got routed, I cannot blame them, they have given us as much time as they could. And we are still hitting the enemy. The 3rd New Jersey is wavering. Come on man, set up, you have your rear exposed. And the 2nd New Jersey is still outside of the trenches. Move forward and hit the 14th North Carolina. These men need to shift a little bit to hit the 1st North Carolina. And McLean is in contact. We took over the 3rd New Jersey Infantry just for them to break instantly. This was a waste of time. But we're also hitting some of their artillery. Especially the Alexandria Light Artillery is a seasoned unit, and these losses are going to hurt the enemy significantly. 1st North Carolina is up to 50 casualties almost. And over here we have repelled another enemy unit. 2nd New Jersey tries to fall back again. We cannot have this disobedience. Move forward and hit the enemy cavalry. We can only do so much to hold back the enemy, but so far it is looking like we are able to do so. The 3rd New Jersey Militia is down to 260 soldiers. They took over 130 casualties. The 1st New Jersey Militia is down to 600 men. And the 34th New York Infantry is down to 410. Over here the 3rd New Hampshire Battery is also withdrawing. And the 2nd New Jersey is still trying to get out of the fighting. Greg's detachment is coming up. I do not know what they are planning to do. And the 41st is falling back. Let's hope they will ready themselves. Come on, man, rally. You are everything that we have left on this section. With this, mass rout is inbound to happen. The 1st New Jersey is now also wavering. But I also doubt that we have the option to actually do much. We could try to retreat further to friendly units, but there are also not really any friendly units left. I would much rather see my boys in cover. And these men are now going to form up on the enemy flank. Unless of course they decide to delay those orders and not to carry them out. We desperately need the 2nd New Jersey on the field. 1st New Jersey took 100 casualties. 3rd New Jersey is down to 260 men. They're currently not getting targeted. 1st North Carolina Cavalry has only 500 men left. But behind them is Greg's elite detachment, and still the Alexandria Light Brigade is hammering down on our lines. And they still have many more forces on our rear. And even though they were not targeted, now this unit is wavering as well. Our lines are about to break down completely. We have over here a massive amount of the Confederate army setting up. And they can simply walk over our forces in the north. We have forces between our lines over here. Our own lines are about to break. But I doubt that our regiments will survive a retreat further into the woodlands. 2nd New Jersey is now finally able to open up on the cavalry. And I'm going to speed up time. All of our soldiers are wavering now. Second New Jersey is once again falling back. Come on, men, move forward. Enemy cavalry is still holding strong. They're now finally wavering as well. Now we can finally see that the enemy cavalry is withdrawing, meaning that our soldiers can target this detachment and the enemy artillery. Over here, the 2nd New Jersey, I do not know what they're doing. They're about to be completely broken, even though they haven't really taken casualties in this fight. And due to the heavy fire, the 1st New Jersey is now falling back. Some of our forces have tried to retreat down here. They are still on the field, but they're absolutely panicked and unable to join the fight. I am going to send the 3rd New Jersey down. Maybe they can hit some of the enemy detachments. 2nd New Jersey tries to run again. No wonder that they're getting flanked. If they would simply stand and fight, we might be able to repel their artillery. Yes, they are finally opening up again, but it doesn't matter as they are now broken. The only unit that we still have is the 3rd New Jersey Militia, and they are now also falling back. Meaning that I'm also now going to order our commander to fall back. And we now have to inform our commanding officer that our brigade is fleeing the field. We have taken close to 750 casualties, and we are now unable to continue the fight. Let's at least hope that our commander is going to be out of this battle. We can see that the complete right side of the battlefield is now starting to break. And some of the soldiers are still on the field. They are in theory, yes, we can in theory command them around. And if possible, I would like them to retreat. Let's send them to the border to get them out of the field. I do not want to take any more casualties than absolutely necessary. Over here, the 1st New Jersey needs to get out as well. The same goes for the 3rd. No, wait, it looks like... It actually looks like that massive parts of our soldiers have regained their composure. So let's try to get them on the field once more. We have the 3rd New Jersey and we have the 1st New Jersey present on the battlefield. And we might be able to hit the Alexandria Light Brigade. The 2nd is now also back on the field. They have made it back to our main line. I want the 13th to push up over here, if they make it back to the line in time. And the 41st can move up over here. I doubt that we can actually do much in this battle to turn it around. But if our soldiers are stuck on this battlefield, we are going to give it the best that we can take. We're hitting the Alexandria Light Brigade. More enemy forces are coming up. And the enemy forces are lumped up in this section. If these forces hold and we get some more reinforcements, we might be able to at least annihilate some of the enemy forces. Musket fire is heavy, and where's the rest of our battle units coming up? We have some forces pushing up over here. I doubt that they will reach our lines in time. But at least we will give it the best that we can do. But at least we will try. The 2nd now needs to push up on the Alexandria Light Artillery. They have taken 12 casualties. And it would be absolutely marvelous if we could take out this elite battery. Union cavalry is marching up. But I doubt that they can do a lot. The men from Ohio are now under direct artillery fire and rifle fire. And over here some Union forces are actually starting to push. Alexandria has taken 25 casualties. They have only 16 men left standing. And 3rd New Jersey needs to move forward to hit the enemy cavalry. It looks like the cavalry is able to outrange them. The last men from New Jersey and New York are coming up. And the 3rd broke. And it looks like the enemy battery got repelled. I want that the 1st New Jersey militia takes care of the men from Virginia. They are extremely underflanked now. And we are going to take care of Baccoon's detachment with the 2nd New Jersey Infantry. Third New Jersey is coming up. And I need them to take position over here. As they only have the musket and not a rifled weapon, they need some more cover. And the men from New York are coming up right behind them. They are going to take position over here, in the hope that we can maybe flank the enemy and deal with them. Over here, Beacon's detachment is taking some casualties. And it looks like our flank of the battlefield is still holding. Further to the north, our forces are extremely scattered. And the 1st New Jersey is now effectively out of ammunition. 30th Virginia is still holding strong, even though they have only 60 men. Come on, men, move forward. Hit them and hit them good. Napton withdraws. He has only 240 men remaining. I can accept that he has to flee. 3rd New Jersey now has finally the option to shine. They were completely wiped as they tried to enter battle once we took over command. And we have taken over 700 losses in this battle alone. But we are able to drive back these cavalry units. Now the 1st New Jersey has to hit the 2nd South Carolina. And I want our New Yorkers to move up on their flank. The 3rd Texas battery is still there. They have taken 5 casualties only. And they are a rather strong battery. But I doubt that we have the option to contest them. And the 3rd New Jersey needs to move forward, but hopefully without blocking the field of fire of the 1st New Jersey. Yes, we can still open up. Over here, the 2nd New Jersey needs to push up on the 1st South Carolina. And if this battle continues, we might be able to inflict some more casualties on our enemies. More Union forces are now on the counterattack. And these forces are now flanked. Over here, more of the Confederate forces are getting pressured, and it looks like we might have destroyed this flank soon. But the bulk of the Confederate army is still on the field, and there's nothing that we can do about that. First New Jersey move forward on the flank of the 1st South Carolina. 41st New York Infantry is shooting them in the rear, and the 3rd New Jersey is now also pushing forward. With these forces getting close in, we should be able to drive these forces back as well. So the enemy is taking massive casualties, and we might be able to get promotion out of this fight. Our headquarters need to push up. We have now taken 785 casualties within our brigade. Only 1,500 men are still remaining, and once again the day has ended. Let's hope we are withdrawing during the night. We are unfortunately still on the battlefield, and therefore I've decided to dig another round of parapets to give our soldiers a little bit more protection. The enemy is currently hitting this area. I'm going to get the 31st New York around to try to help with this issue. Currently, Union forces are on the counterattack. We have the 12th Georgia and the 8th Georgia fighting, as well as the 7th Georgia. All of these regiments have seen combat. They are fairly experienced. And maybe our soldiers are able to deliver some damage on them. Over here, the 2nd New Jersey is still trying to get out of the fight. Well, okay then, man. You are going to march forward. And you're going to hit the enemy if this is the only way that you're going to stay on the battlefield. Some of our soldiers are already routing. And I'm going to shift the 1st New Jersey militia forward. This is the only unit from our regiment that is still on the field. And we have now accepted defeat. This battle was another major defeat for the Union. Well, this was a long and absolutely massive battle, and we had the option to avoid it, but High Command decided not to move. We have lost over 4,600 of our infantrymen and 269 of our cavalrymen and all of our artillery pieces. In total, over 7,000 of our soldiers were killed or wounded. On the Confederate side, 4,300 of their infantry became casualties. The same goes for 293 of their cavalry, and 32 of their 81 guns were lost. In total, they suffered about 6,000 casualties in this battle. And I think that this is not a bad statistic if you consider how heavily they outnumbered us. After the disaster at Stafford, the 2nd Division is fleeing in the panic and Lieutenant Colonel Nagley loses face. General Jackson also loses face and the support for the federal cause wavers. Let's find out how bad this turns out to be, as the Army of Northern Virginia is cutting us off. Many units are routed and the 1st Division is apparently pushing south. And the first year of the Civil War is about to end. We now have the 29th December 1861 and soon a new year will start. The 4th Division is suffering from high officer casualties and the men are extremely unhappy. Currently we're also unable to see how our regiments are looking. And if the results of this battle weren't bad enough, we can see that further to the north another battle around Alexandria is taking place. This time it looks like we are on the winning side. But I guess these forces are only attacking so that we cannot get any more help in the south. The Union has now passed the Confiscation Act, meaning that Confederate property is no longer respected. Contraband slaves are now not going to be returned to their owners, and in result of these actions the Confederate support increases in the south. We can see that our forces are now retreating south through multiple Confederate armies. And we now also got a new companion. This former Pony Express rider, ranch hand, wagon train handler, town developer, railroad contractor, bison hunter, fur trapper and gold prospector turned into a showman has stumbled upon our unit. His inspiring cowboy frontier shows are of great interest for all soldiers, especially during the tedious camp life. Out of boredom, one can guess, he has associated himself with your unit. As he inspires the men and spends much time in your company, his presence increases our leadership. Talking about that, let's take a look on our camp. Currently we are wounded, meaning that we have to reduce the amount of time that we can spend in camp, but our companion is able to recruit some more soldiers. Because of the problems that we currently have, we are going to reduce the amount of time that we're going to spend on drilling, meaning that we are still able to use the time that we have effectively. And to make sure that order delays are not going to be that much of an issue, we are going to get army binoculars so that we can have a better eye on our soldiers. Our men are marching on. We are now getting on a boat and we are getting out of the deep south. Oh well, currently not. The 4th Division is now on the other side of the Rappahannock River. We are deep inside Confederate territory, and 4th Division is coming up to battle with us. Currently the 1st Division of the Army of the Potomac and the 1st Division of the Army of Northeastern Virginia are in battle. They are heavily outnumbered, and they're still stuck behind enemy lines. The Army of the Peninsula is still cutting off our line of retreat further to Alexandria, but it looks like we have the best chances to win the Battle of Alexandria further in the north. And when we take a look on our poor brigade, we can see that we have only 1,400 men available and 568 men are disabled. 1st New Jersey State Militia only has 469 men left, and the 2nd New Jersey only has 260 soldiers. The 3rd New Jersey only has 239, and the 4th New Jersey still has 503 soldiers left, meaning that the 2nd and the 3rd are our weakest units. And still we are unable to get any more weapons for our soldiers. We also are unable to send our soldiers home, as no recruits are available in New Jersey. If this continues, some of our regiments are going to collapse completely. And unfortunately, after we made some progress in the previous episodes, it now looks like the Union Army is facing complete and utter annihilation. But this has to be it for now. I hope you have enjoyed this episode, and until we meet again, I wish you all a great time.